Lakes, rivers, and wetlands, once symbols of purity, are now silently filling with plastic waste. From microplastics to dumped packaging, our freshwater ecosystems are becoming polluted at an alarming rate. In this video, we uncover how deep the damage goes. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more eye-opening insights, and join the fight to protect our freshwater sources. 1. A hidden crisis unfolding. While ocean pollution steals headlines, freshwater plastic waste is rapidly spinning out of control. Lakes, rivers, and wetlands now contain microplastics in their surface water, sediment, and species. From the Great Lakes in North America to Lake Victoria in Africa, plastic is silently spreading. Tourism, agriculture, sewage, and stormwater all leak plastic into these fragile freshwater zones. Many rivers once thought pristine now show alarming levels of synthetic fibers and plastic beads. Unlike oceans, freshwater ecosystems are closed loops. Pollution builds faster and hits harder. The food chain in lakes and rivers is more vulnerable, smaller, and less able to filter pollutants. 2. Where the pollution begins. Freshwater plastic pollution often begins where people live, shop, and throw things away casually. Street litter gets washed into drains during rain and flows directly into local creeks and rivers. Plastic-filled stormwater carries city waste to lakes, bypassing filtration and treatment systems. Sachets, wrappers, and bags dominate rural and urban waterways due to lack of waste collection. Clothing fibers from laundry enter freshwater via wastewater and remain suspended in the flow. Fishing gear, nets, and packaging used near lakes are often discarded or lost in the water. Tourist activities near lakes and rivers leave behind disposable items that drift with the current. 3. Plastic in the drinking supply. Plastics in freshwater often end up in the very water we drink, wash with, and cook with daily. Filtration plants are not always designed to remove microplastics, especially the smallest types. Tiny fragments pass through treatment facilities and re-enter homes through taps and bottles. Studies show bottled water often contains more microplastics than untreated lake water itself. Plastic enters from caps, containers, and airborne fibers during bottling and storage. Rural communities using untreated wells or lake water are even more at risk of plastic exposure. Boiling does not remove plastic. It may break some down into even more dangerous nanoparticles. 4. The wildlife toll. Freshwater species are already under pressure from overfishing, habitat loss, and climate shifts. Now, plastic adds a lethal threat as fish, turtles, birds, and amphibians ingest or get entangled. Microplastics lodge in fish intestines, causing starvation, inflammation, and organ dysfunction. Amphibians absorb plastic toxins directly through their skin and eggs in polluted waters. Turtles mistake floating bags for food, while water birds feed plastic pieces to their young. Some fish show altered reproductive behavior after ingesting endocrine-disrupting plastics. Beavers and otters build dens near trash-choked banks, exposing young to harmful debris. 5. Microplastics are everywhere. Microplastics in freshwater are so small they cannot be seen without special tools or microscopes. They come from degraded plastic, clothing fibers, tire dust, and cosmetics flushed into systems. Rivers and lakes now carry invisible particles through every layer of water and sediment. Water sampling studies have found microplastics in mountain streams and remote alpine lakes. Once in the system, these particles are consumed by even the tiniest forms of aquatic life. They do not biodegrade, but instead break down into smaller and more invasive fragments. Microplastics can bind with bacteria, metals, and toxins, becoming chemical-laden particles. 6. Sacred waters polluted. Many freshwater sites have spiritual, historical, or cultural significance to local communities. Polluting these sacred rivers and lakes is not just ecological harm, it is spiritual violence. In South Asia, rivers like the Ganges are worshipped, yet plastic floats alongside religious offerings. Ceremonial items like prayer candles, cloth, and food are now mixed with synthetic packaging. Pilgrimages and festivals often result in surges of plastic dumped into once revered waters. What was once a source of blessing now becomes a health hazard to those who depend on it. Elders mourn the loss of sanctity, and younger generations inherit contaminated holy places. 7. Wetlands under attack. Wetlands are freshwater ecosystems that filter pollution, prevent floods, and support biodiversity. Now they are becoming plastic traps choked with debris that stops their natural flow and function. Plastic clogs wetland vegetation, reducing oxygen and sunlight penetration in shallow waters. Waterbirds that nest in wetlands ingest plastic or weave it into their nests unknowingly. Plants absorb microplastic through roots, affecting their health and contaminating nearby animals. During floods, wetlands overflow and release stored plastic into downstream lakes and rivers. Once choked, wetlands lose their ability to support fish, frogs, insects, and migratory birds. 8. Agriculture's plastic problem. Farmers rely on fresh water for irrigation, but their plastic use often pollutes it in return. Plastic mulch, drip tape, seed trays, and chemical containers are widely used across agriculture. Improper disposal leads these items to nearby rivers and ponds, where they break down slowly. Runoff carries plastic fragments into canals, ponds, and irrigation reservoirs used in farming. Fertilizers and pesticides bind to plastic particles, spreading toxins through both soil and water. Livestock drink from plastic-filled water sources, ingesting harmful residues in the process. Fish farms on lakes and reservoirs often use plastic cages, netting, and packaging that leak waste. 9. Are we doing enough? Most freshwater protection efforts lag far behind what is needed to stop plastic contamination. Many focus on coastal areas and marine cleanups, ignoring lakes, rivers, and inland wetlands. Freshwater ecosystems are smaller, more vulnerable, and more critical to daily human needs. Funding and research are often ocean-centered, leaving freshwater largely out of global focus. Legislation on plastic often excludes rivers and lakes, assuming local governments will handle it. Recycling programs rarely account for rural or watershed-specific challenges near fresh water. Cleanups without upstream prevention are like mopping a floor while the tap stays on. 10. A call to action. Freshwater plastic pollution is real, rising, and ruining ecosystems that sustain all life. We can no longer treat rivers, lakes, and wetlands as disposable. Nature does not work that way. Waste policies must cover entire watersheds, not just city limits or industrial zones. Governments need to ban harmful packaging, invest in plastic-free alternatives, and enforce laws. Communities can organize cleanup drives, demand corporate change, and reduce plastic use daily. Schools must teach children about freshwater conservation alongside traditional science topics. Scientists and policymakers must collaborate across borders to track and prevent plastic spread. Cultural leaders can reshape how societies honor their water sources with cleaner traditions. Innovators must create new materials and systems that protect water rather than pollute it. Freshwater plastic pollution isn't just an eyesore, it's a growing threat to wildlife, clean water, and our health. We can't afford to ignore what's happening to these vital ecosystems. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more environmental truths, and share it to spread awareness. Let's stand together to keep our rivers and lakes clean for generations to come.